What's going on, HPP fam? Welcome back to another episode. Hope you enjoyed the content of Boo going down the racetrack, but it's time for us to get back to work and make some other stuff go fast. Got a cool one today. It's actually Wednesday. We had a short week. Well, I had a short week, and I'm picking up the camera late, but let me show you what we got going on. Behind me here is a brand new, already torn apart 2025 Lincoln Aviator. This thing is freaking sweet. It has a 3.0 liter twin turbo EcoBoost engine, and it's all-wheel drive. So definitely a wolf in sheep's clothing as far as once we start modding this thing, which I'll show you what we got going on here in a second. This thing will surprise you light to light if you are not paying attention, because with very few modifications this thing can be over 500 horsepower. So pretty exciting. This one's only got 900 miles on it. It's brand freaking new, and we've already tore it apart. How fun. But this thing's clean too, man. It's the chocolate interior. Very nice. Anyways, ooh, look at them wheels. We've got the nose tore off of this thing pretty well. We've got the factory intercooler out, and we're going after all the intercooler pipes and the air induction pipes, because we have upgraded intercooler going in. We've got an upgraded air intake. We've got the Momentum GT by Air-Raid, and then we have new intercooler pipes as well. It's also getting a catch can. So this thing's going to be pretty legit. We're still working on the Mississippi car. Everything is pretty much wrapped up except for like 3 things. And for some reason, we have a crank position code, an intermittent signal crank position code. So we've started to dive in. We've replaced the sensor. We've been checking the wiring. I'm not sure where it's going to head next. Hopefully we don't have an issue with the actual tone ring itself. You know, being that the crankshaft is aftermarket, the tone ring is aftermarket. So there is a chance that the tone ring is bad, which would mean the whole motor's coming out, which would really suck. So hopefully that's not the case, but we will figure it out shortly. We also got Mason's replacement turbo kit in. So hopefully next week, or maybe the end of this week, we'll get started on ripping the kit that's on the truck off and get this one on. And then what you guys missed while we were racing, Gio was still here working. Yoel's is all back together with a little drag pack on the back there. It's pretty sweet. Now I know you guys be hawking the channel trying to find out what's going on with Yoel's. Ain't nothing crazy. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. He'll see you in these streets. You can find out what happened to it then when he pops his hood. And it's probably gonna look the same. So, big surprise. Anyways, let's dive in, get these pipes off, get some new parts on this Aviator. Well, boys, as far as exciting installs go, this is one of them. It has been quite a challenge to do the charge pipes on this thing, and I say that just because it's a lot of stuff in a small area. It's not that it's so super hard to do, but boy, it helps if you're a tiny person or you got little hands. But we're getting close. We've got our intercooler pretty much 100% mounted. We still got the lower brackets to do, but I wanted to get it hung in here and get the charge pipes attached, so everything kind of was towards its resting place as far as how it's going to sit. Because that makes, as we finish this thing, makes it more complete. We've got all of our charge pipes on. We're working on just final torquing all of our T-bolt clamps that are holding all of our charge pipes. Once we do that, we'll go ahead and wrap up our intercooler the rest of the way. And this thing is massive in comparison. You guys seen it sitting over there on the ground. In comparison to that little OEM intercooler. But yeah, this thing is moving right along. Wrinkle black charge pipes look nice. Got all T-clamps facing uniformly, as they should be. So, next time you see this thing, it should be pretty much all back together, or very close. We're gonna finish tightening charge pipes, like I said, finish the intercooler, and then we'll probably go ahead and get 90% of the front end back together before we do the final assembly on the airbox, because we're gonna treat the airbox as if this vehicle was coming in just for the air intake, and everything else is done already. So, man, would you take a look at this, baby? Woohoo! Sharp and all back together. AFE AFE Power Momentum GT intake, CVF wrinkle black charge pipes, and CVF Fabrications big intercooler, which is back there. You can see a little bit of it right there. But this thing is 100% back together, ready to roll. So I'm about to fire it up, which it's not going to sound anything like anything yet. This thing is going to be receiving down pipes next month sometime, I believe. But in the meantime, that's it for this thing. I'm going to fire it up, pull it outside, take it for a drive. Woo, this thing looks sharp, baby. Out in the sun, they're bling blinging. Took it out for a test drive and everything went great. Well, this thing is wrapped up. I'm heading back onto the customer. And hopefully, we'll see it again next month.
I was about to grab it.
Oh, I'm sure you were.
I was.
Yeah. Supposedly, Gio said he was about to pick up the camera, but we all know it's questionable if that was true or not.
It was. It's true.
Anyways, we are rocking and rolling on our next project, and as you can see by that big old box, it's a Pro Charger. Surprise! We have already put FIC 1000cc injectors in. We've already got the plugs. Gio has already pinned the crank, and he is in the process of getting ready to put the supercharger bracket on the car. I don't know if you guys recognize this car. This is one a couple months back. We did a set of long tube headers with a Texas Speed Stage 4 cam. This is a 5.7 liter Hemi. I believe it's a 2015. But yeah, this is a manual car, which is super exciting, because who doesn't love rolling gears? But we're gonna get the blower installed and get that thing on the dyno shortly. We'll see how it looks here in a little bit. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Gio's been hard at work. We got the big race intercooler on this Johnny. We got the big red race valve. And we got the P1X mounted up. So we've got a few more things to finish up. Charge pipe here. We've got to finish up the vacuum lines. Put the coolant tank and reservoir in. Back this thing down, fill it back up with coolant, get the front bumper back on, but not much left. Also guys, update on Alfonso's. Fan's wired, starter is wired, and works off the key. Really, that's about it. We gotta charge the battery up. It is gonna need a new rack. It has a leaky rack and pinion. I'm gonna get with him on that. But really, I think it just needs a solid once over. And it's time for tuning. And as promised, it's a new week, baby. We are chopping down the block with this P1X. baby. Stick with us. Let's see what kind of power she makes. So guys, you've missed a little bit because I lost the charger to the camera and I just got a new charger for it, so I got the battery charged up. But check out Johnny's Twin Turbo 392. We just finished up putting the billet valve covers, going through a motion wrench work test can. There's gas can breathers welded on both sides. Man, that shit, excuse my language, turned out phenomenal. We also changed the push rods on this, just because, I'm not going to explain why, but we put new push rods in it. Boy howdy, this sounded good. So guys, I don't know if you remember a while back, a little while back now, this Ram, we had just finished camming it. They went through the dyno and everything, and I think you guys just didn't see it anymore. And I wanted to get you up to speed on it, because as you can see, it's on the dyno again. When the customer came to pick it up, the motor started making a noise. And I did not feel comfortable letting it go. And good thing I didn't. So I advised the customer, I said, hey, I know we just cammed this thing, the motor's pretty high mileage. Starting to make a ticking noise, and it's obviously not the cam or the lifters or any of those things, because they're all new. I said, let us dive in. And good thing we did, because it ended up being a bearing failure that was starting to happen on a rod and a main. So after discussing with the customer whether we do a stock rebuild or something else, he ended up opting to do a CNC or MMX. Don't quote me, I don't remember. I want to say this may be an MMX deal. Long story short, we did a forged bottom end on this thing. So pistons, rods, crank, it's a little bit of a stroker. And it got ARP head studs and ARP bottom end, just in case in the future he decides to go force inducted. But yeah, we got it all back together on the dyno. Got a little Texas speed cam action in there too. It's still catted, full exhaust, but you can hear it back here chopping. So we're gonna get this thing dynoed up and see what the new numbers are. It is late on this Friday afternoon, and we would normally be closed by now, but sometimes you gotta stay late to get cars that need to go home. And that's Yoel's charger. Let's call it a challenge. Yoel's single turbo charger. It left and came back for an oil leak, and we've got it addressed. We figured out what it is, and we're getting it fixed, and the car will be done here in just a moment. In the meantime, before I close out this video, I'm glad you stuck around to the end to hear me complain. That's right. I'm gonna bitch and I want to complain about how big companies bully small companies due to their own negligence, and they can get away with it because the dollar amount is so small. And I want to touch on the base of this because I feel like in this day and age, there's no love anymore. I think the reason why my shop, even though it's small, does so good is because we stand behind our work. We try to create relationships. We take care of our customers. We're reasonably priced. And I think that's why we've gotten to where we are today. And I think sometimes some companies get really big, or they have an influx of cash and they get so big and then they don't care anymore about the customer. And that's the way I felt that our shop has been treated by. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put the name of the company in this video. But long story short, our Mississippi build that we waited 6 months for a crankshaft. You guys go back in my videos, I'm sure you'll hear me say who we ordered the stroker kit from. But anyways, it's a pretty well-known company. I have the exact same stroker kit in my car. And we put the whole car together, fired it up, and had a check engine light. And I don't know if I've talked about it earlier in this video or not, but it had an intermittent crank signal. And so broke out the oscilloscope. I've got pictures, I'll put those in here. As you can see, that signal is not what it's supposed to look like. Now, I'm in my head, I'm like, I know what this means. And I have another stroker kit from that same company in the parts room. Let me go inspect the crankshaft on that one, because it's the exact same order. So I go into the parts room, and I don't know if I have the video. If I do, here it is. If I don't, sorry. But we unboxed this brand new crank that was poorly boxed. It was a Scat crankshaft in a Scat crankshaft box with peanuts and some. Now I say some because there's a little bit on the top and a little bit on the bottom. Some of that expanding foam, you know, that shit you put in there, and then it takes the shape when it gets activated, it takes the shape of the object. There was some of that in there, but mostly peanuts in a cardboard box holding a V8 crankshaft. I don't know in what world these guys live in, but it is absolutely this company's fault, not Scat's fault. It's this company's fault because we paid them to do the balancing, which means they took the crank out of the box from Scat. Now, if Scat sends it that way, then it is on Scat. But regardless, the company should know that that's not adequate packaging, especially for a V8 crankshaft, and to do better before they send it to their customers. Because I know if we were to ship an engine out, we're not just going to stick it on a pallet without it properly strapped down. So it's kind of the same principle. It's like it was thrown in a box with some peanuts. It's a heavy V8 crankshaft. And let me tell you what, FedEx or UPS doesn't give a rat's booty about your package. If you notice, half the time when they come, they're all dinged and scratched and dented and whatever the case may be, and you can put as many Fragile stickers as you want. That motherfucker's gonna field goal kick your package to your front door. It's sad, but people don't care about other people's stuff anymore these days either, and that's annoying. But anyways, and I looked at the tone ring of that crankshaft, and 4 teeth on that tone ring were dented in. And at that moment, I already knew what I had found out with the oscilloscope on the other engine, that teeth were damaged on that crankshaft. And I could imagine it was the same exact reason why it was damaged in shipping. Now one may say, well, JD, why didn't y'all catch that when you unboxed the crank? Well, I didn't. I took the crank to my machinist who installed it. Why didn't he catch it? It's not something, we're not gonna sit there and stare at the teeth of the tone ring. And a lot of LS applications I've seen where the tone ring was bent in shipping. But this is like, Dodge tone rings, you ain't bending them hoes. Them, they thick boys. But where I have a problem is when I discovered all this, and then I discovered another crank shipped by the same company have the exact same problem, it leads me to believe that I'm probably not the only one with this problem. And so I want to put this out to the public. Well, when I called the company and I said, hey, who's paying to take this motor back out, disassemble it, pay the machinist to put the new tone wheel on, put the motor back together, put the motor back in the car? Who pays for that? Guess what? High PSI pays for that. And you know what? The company didn't even have the courtesy, the common decency to say, man, that's terrible. We're sorry for the inconvenience that may have been caused by us not adequately packaging the part. Because it is their fault. They re-put it back in the box. So I'm putting the blame on them for not properly packaging a crankshaft and it getting damaged in shipping. We're gonna send you out some new tone rings. and give you a hefty discount on your next order, because you know no one's gonna come out of pocket. I understand that. No, they made us buy new tone wheels for both engines, and we're footing the entire bill. No offer of a discount, no apology, no sorry for the inconvenience, nothing. The name of that company is CNC Motorsports. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that is some BS as far as I'm concerned. But you know what, at the end of the day, we're taking care of it, because that's what we do. Stand behind our work and take care of our customers. And he's not even a Texas customer. He's from a whole nother state. And I've informed the customer of everything that has transpired. And it's just really disappointing. You know, it's a big company. They're a big company. They don't give a rat's ass about us. But it's kind of sad. And I hope through the power of the internet and this video, somebody else learned something from this, or found out why their engine don't run right, or where they have intermittent crank signal issues after their new build. And maybe some of you guys might go write a review on their website. But the thing about it is, we got to be careful as shops. We start poking the bear too much, they'll blacklist us, not sell us parts. It's crazy this day and age. But I'm done ranting. I appreciate you guys for all the love and support, and anybody who made it down to the end of this video of me bitching about shit. But we are gonna keep striving and keep rocking and rolling here at High PSI. We got single turbo Hemi action coming your way. Mason's is coming right along, should be fired up next week. The oils is all done, makes great power. All y'all scoobers that hawk our YouTube videos, looking for the power numbers on that car, don't worry about it. When he gaps you, maybe you can find out how much power he makes. Little old baby 5.7's out here putting in work. But anyways, Boo's ready for you too. If anybody wants to come down and get some of Boo, just come holler at me. But thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe. We will see you on the next one. Peace.